I'm a big believer in taking action. I believe you don't just stand by the sidelines and do nothing. You don't see something and go, that's not my problem. Well, I'll leave that for someone else to deal with. That always drives me crazy. I think of this incident that happened in my state a couple years ago where this elderly man got hit by a car. And the guy driving the car, he took off. I don't even know if they ever caught him. I believe recently they may have. But this guy is dying in the street. And nobody could stop to help him. Nobody could even come, be with him, just until help arrived. Or to protect him from getting hit from another car. People just looked at him and walked away. It was disgusting. It was such a disgusting display that it made national news. I never wanted to be that way. And I got tested. I got tested a few times, and then I got called to take action. I had this tradition in the United States. As you know, we have our Independence Day on July 4th. And a week later, in a major city in my home state, they do their own special show. And they do it after July 4th because it's related to another event that goes on. So they kind of combine these two events. And the guys who do this show are the same guys who do it in New York City on July 4th. So it's one of the best fireworks show in the world. And it really is awesome to be there. I mean, it was a thrill. But every time I'd go with my former best friend, something would happen. Every time. I remember there was a road rage incident. There was a kid got thrown out of the back of a pickup truck. Just bad stuff happening. And we were always there. And through a lot of these things that were going on, we didn't get that attitude of, well, it's not my problem, we'll just go. We stood guard. If we were needed, we were ready to go. Like the road rage incident. We were ready that if that thing got out of hand and fists started to fly, we were going to get in there and break it up or stop it or protect the weaker person. Whatever needed to be done. We were ready. And we kind of joked about that at times. Like, what are we? Have we been chosen for this? Why do these situations keep happening to us? And then it escalated, which was, I believe, the last time I went there to one of the fireworks shows. So a couple years ago. It was always packed. This is a popular show. People from all over the state come here. From other states will come to this show. So it's a big deal. So the streets are packed. It jammed packed. So I decided to just sit in my truck in the parking lot. I was going to wait for the traffic to disperse. And then when it got a little better, then I'd go. So it's a nice summer night anyway, so why not? So sitting there in the truck, I'm in the parking lot. Cars are in front of me who decided they're going to get in line and wait, so as soon as they can leave, they can leave. And we hear this commotion, and this little rat-looking car, this little pile of junk, comes flying through the parking lot, comes up on the car in front of me. The car in front of me was a SUV. Starts beeping on the horn, and we were all like looking at him like, what the hell are you doing? Where do you think you're going? It's a traffic jam. You're going nowhere. What are you beeping at, you moron? So I'm watching the driver of the car in front of me, and they're just like, the little punk gets out of this ratty car, goes up to the driver's side window and starts yelling, "Get this effing thing out of here, you piece of crap, blah, 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 blah." This car in front of me, there's little kids. They look like they're 5 and 6 maybe. Little kids in the car. There's grandpa and grandma. It's a big family in this SUV. And this guy is going off saying horrible, nasty things. So I'm like getting ready now. I got my eyes open. Is this guy going to get, out of control here? Is this something we're going to have to deal with? So my heart starts pumping, because I'm not going to sit back. If I'm needed, I'm going to rise. So my heart's starting to beat fast like, oh boy, how's this thing going to go? He goes back in his car again. He's slamming his hands on his steering wheel, beeping that horn. He then gets out again and goes to the other side of the van. Now I could see him clearly. And he starts threatening them. And he says, "I have a gun and I'm going to shoot you." He's making threats. As soon as I heard that, I tucked down into my truck. He never saw me. He didn't even know I was there. And this is what gave me an advantage. So I made sure I stayed quiet, not a lot of motion. I didn't want to be seen because he would never see me coming. So I get on my cell phone, I call the police, I tell them, I didn't know exactly what street I was on, so I told them by landmarks and this and that, and they said, okay, we kind of think we know where you are, we're on our way. So I hang up the phone, and he's making these threats saying, I'm going to grab my gun, I'm going to shoot every one of you, I'll put a bullet in your head, blah, 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 all this stuff. So with, once again, very quiet and sneakily, I lean back into the back of my truck. I have an extended cab, and I pulled out a tire iron. I unlocked my door, and now it looks like this guy's about to start taking action. And my former friend there, he's getting really nervous, like, what are you going to do? I'm like, he doesn't know I'm here, I'm going to somehow stay in the dark, and then I'll just beat his hand if I have to. Maybe if I beat both of his hands with the tire iron, he won't be able to pull a trigger. But I wasn't going to hit him unless he actually had a weapon, because then I would be the one who's at fault here. So, I unlock the door, I open up the door handle, and then I'm ready to go. And at the same time, I'm trying to keep my eyes open on the street because the police only have a general idea of where we are. And I didn't have GPS. So, maybe I did actually. I don't remember. So anyways, just as things are really starting to escalate, things are starting to get bad, that's when I see the police come in. And they didn't want to alarm him, so they didn't have their sirens on, but he saw their lights flashing. And they some of them went past the parking lot. So he runs into his car and he steps on, he starts cutting all the cars off, and he's going to try to crash his way through the traffic jam to get out of there so he doesn't get caught. Well, as he was driving, without even thinking, I just took off after him. And I started chasing his car. And I was running as the fastest I ever ran in my life. I was actually keeping up with him. And next thing I know, everybody else who was in their cars, they start running behind me. And they're running at the cops, over here, over here. So the cops now see the big commotion. And then I actually chased this guy right into the arms of the cops. Because he was getting out of his car. He was going to book it. But I blocked him in, and I start running him right to the cops. And they were able to just grab him and cuff him right then and there. Funny thing is that because there were so many people there, the cops never even saw me. It always got to me as I'm like, isn't that weird? I remember saying this to my former friend, isn't that weird? I ran the guy right into the cop's arms, and they didn't even know it. It's almost like, I don't know, I was just this invisible figure. It was weird. Bottom line is that because I took action, they got the guy. And they were looking for him, as it turned out. He's a big troublemaker. And they had been looking for him. There was a warrant out for his arrest. I don't know how things would have escalated. I don't even know. We told them about the police about the gun. So I don't know if they looked. I believe they were searching the car for it. I'm not sure if they found one or not. But apparently this guy makes a lot of threats and death threats and all that kind of stuff. So I was proud of myself because I took action. Because I didn't sit back. And it worked out. So if you can, if you are called upon to take action, be smart, stay calm. Your heart's probably going to beat fast like mine did. But the bottom line is that you are going to make a difference. You are going to make a difference. And as human beings, I feel like we should look out for each other when needed. We're all humans. We're all on this planet together. So always be smart. Always think things through. But stand up. Take action. Don't sit back on the sidelines. Don't say it's not my problem. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Please be sure to subscribe by clicking here. And hey, while you're at it, visit my site here for lots of cool content and yes, some free stuff. Hey, who doesn't love free stuff? I don't. Shut up.